Good evening, my friends. Today is a day where we talk about the Battlegrounds and how bad they are in terms of, well, let's just say in terms of updates and how they don't add anything new to them, especially in the Battlegrounds section, which is one of the huge reasons why people don't play the Battlegrounds anymore. And I don't know if it's a mystery, a Scooby-Doo mystery for the developers as to why the Battlegrounds are not being initiated, why they are not being activated by the people. And I mean, you do that just by having enough people to play the Battlegrounds. Just go here, it's pretty simple. If you guys don't know how to do it, you click on what you want to play here, take it away. If you don't want it, you go to Shorehold and you request. And the same thing you can do with Skyrim and Fire Canyon. I mean, at this point, I don't know what to say. It's plain as day. The minimum that they can do to make this dungeon a little, to make this battleground a little bit more attractive for the players. I mean, for example, how about you completely remove this highly outdated gear from the Battlegrounds shop, which hardly serves any purpose at all. The only thing that I know that people still use is the protection gear, which is the halberd and sometimes the greaves. Well, not for the DPS. The DPS will never wear this anymore, not even the weapon, not even the glove. Nothing of this is used by the DPS today. This is mostly used by tank classes these days. I don't know, maybe healers, although I haven't been seeing healers running around with chest and feet in PvP gear. As far as I know, it just gives you a little bit more HP, but even that, I don't know, in my opinion, it isn't worth as much, because the damage decrease is really a lot. As you can see here, for example, the maximum enchanted disciplinary weapon is 2.5 million weaker than my PvE weapon. These are both weapons enchanted to the maximum. And yeah, this section of the game is in a quite sad state. This game, and it's just sad. I mean, every gear piece is very much outdated. As you can see, even the gloves compared to my PvE one. I mean, you can just see here, it's the difference in everything is a lot. Yeah, so the Battlegrounds, as I was saying, once you do manage to find enough people to play it, they only give you 200,000 Battlegrounds credits if you win. Well, it's 200,000+, and if you lose, I think it's like 100 or I don't know, 70,000. I don't know, I haven't been playing Crosshair Stronghold much lately. Well, because it doesn't have an incentive. It doesn't really give you anything, and if you play for 15 minutes on each side, as you know, for example, Crosshair Stronghold, you have to play first on the defense and then you play on the offense, and sometimes it can go up to 12 minutes. I don't know if it goes to 15 minutes, but it's close to half an hour, and that is a very long time. I mean, I don't know one dungeon that takes 30 minutes to do today. Maybe the new dungeon that came out, the Sky Cruiser. Well, it's not new. As you know, the game doesn't make new dungeons anymore. They just copy-paste old dungeons. I mean, rarely do they introduce a new dungeon. Yeah, so even Bahar, I think today takes maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, although I never did it, so I won't lie to you, but I'm sure it doesn't take half an hour, especially with the new gear. I'm not so sure if they increase the HP of the boss. Yeah, I really don't know, but I don't know if it takes half an hour like Crosshair Stronghold, Well, but at least from a high-end dungeon, which usually takes a little bit longer than your mediocre dungeons, like I don't know, like the laboratory, like like the laboratory, like the citadel, the GLS. I mean, all these dungeons are mediocre, and they take around 5 to 10 minutes if you have a really bad party. I mean, usually it takes just 4 minutes to do if you're in a relatively good party. And those rewards give you around sometimes 20,000-30,000 in materials, in gear that you can sell, and sometimes masks and belts and stuff that is really expensive. So per dungeon, per 4 or 5 minutes, you can win up to 50k if you sell those materials in the trade broker. So that's just to give you the scope of the huge problem that exists right now in TERA. So yeah, this is the PvE section of the game, which has been, well, which has had a relatively good upkeep. As you can see, you can make a lot of money, and this is why people still kinda play PvE, although lately you've been getting more and more people with low gear. So I'm guessing the old dudes are leaving the game and more new guys are coming in, but I'm not sure of how long they will stay, since once they notice how the state of the game is degrading, well, they might not stay for long. So it's quite a disturbing situation. Yeah, so as I was saying, you do 4 or 5 minutes and you get 20, 40, 50k in materials, well, plus pure gold, so there's that. So you win a lot by doing dungeons, but then you maybe want to try PvP for a change. You know, you're tired of doing, I don't know, 12, 16 dungeons a day to reach your dailies, and you say, no, tomorrow I will maybe play PvP, and then you start going in here, which is the shop for the PvP side of the game. If you do PvP, you will get credits, and the only place where you can spend those credits is in this shop. And then you start looking here, and everything in here is so outdated that it hurts my eyes, honestly. This is around, I don't know, 5 major patches old. I think this is even more. I'm not even talking about these mediocre patches that we have every now and then. I'm talking about the really big patches. I think this is pre-Exodore, this is pre... what's the name of that patch that we had in Tria, where they changed the monsters here? I don't remember the name of that patch, but I think it even predates that patch. So this gear is really ancient, and they still haven't changed at all. I mean, it still doesn't have any kind of physical or magical stats on it. This is just to show you how old this really is. This is years long, not just 1 year, this is years old gear. Imagine playing a game where the same gear is used for years on end. Imagine still the people that are playing that game, what they will think about the developers, and what they think about the developers think about the player base. I mean, it's like they don't even care. They don't even care what the player base thinks. Oh, they'll be fine, right? They'll find a way to make it interesting even with that gear. Yeah, and then you go here in the Miscellaneous, I think this is called, and ta-da! You have basically 1 Corsair Stronghold. If you win, is worth 1 Purified Ornament. So you play 20 minutes. These days Corsair Stronghold takes around 24 minutes, 20 minutes, 10 minutes per side, maybe less, let's say maybe less. And if you do win, those 20 minutes will have to equate to a high-end dungeon, which means that they absolutely must give you something that is worth, something that maybe comes close to Bahar, or at least some of these mediocre dungeons, like the Fusion Laboratory, the Grotto, the Storm Citadel. I mean, they have to give you something that is worth at least a few thousand gold to make it worth your while. Otherwise, why would you just waste your time? I mean, okay, PvP is fun, but just for the pure fun of it, you're not gonna play the Battlegrounds all the time. Especially since if you do like PvP, there is a thing called CU, where you are supposed, one place in the game where you are supposed to use the PvP gear. I mean, you can't use it in Battlegrounds since they equalize the gear, which by the way is another story, another F-up that they have done, which broke the PvP side of the game, which made the Battlegrounds be so inactive, because when it wasn't equalized, people could use their accessories, but they had the weapons equalized and the gear, well, the 4 gear pieces, you know, the weapon, the gloves, the feet, and the chest plate, that was equalized, and the rest of the accessories, they weren't equalized. So when that was the case, people used to play that a lot, because you could actually have fun playing it. But these days, with the completely equalized gear, only a few classes are allowed to one combo you, so it's really not fun for the people. I mean, in the past everyone was able to one combo because the damage was so high from the accessories, so a lot of people used to play because it was fair. But this time it's not fair. There is hardly more than a handful of classes that can actually do the warrior, you know, backstab and killing you instantly. Although I have to say, the warrior thing this time in Battlegrounds doesn't really one combo, but he comes close to it. The class that does kill you is the sorcerer. I mean, that's one of the classes that just is impossible to beat in the Battlegrounds if the guy knows what you're doing. But anyway, I digress. As I was saying, yes, after 20 minutes, if you get like one of these worth of points, 200 points from the Corsair Stronghold, I mean, you buy this, and what can you do with it? Oh, you can upgrade your Radiant Circlet. Oh, let me see. What patch is this? I think this is like 4 patches ago. Radiant Circlet. Really? This is like around 1 year old, outdated material that we have not used since, I don't know, the start of this year, I think, around this. Maybe not the year, but it was a long time since we needed these materials. Everything in here is from a very outdated patch, which you can't even use these days. Even if you do get it, you don't have any more accessories that so low on which you can use this. They just don't fall even in the lowest of dungeons. It just doesn't happen. Then you have skill advancement. Well, this is useless now that you have this here. I mean, it basically does the job for you. Now just upgraded everything. You can't really upgrade anything. Well, I don't really remember how this works. I think you don't need this anymore. This is what replaces these. These are always also old materials. You can still use them, but I think they are not used anymore as much because, well, they take too much space, and using this crystal here, this stone, is much easier. Yeah, you can just use this and bypass using these here. Yeah, so after they introduced this, I mean, why would you need to use this from here? And look, this is pretty expensive, 2000 credits. I mean, and you can't really do much with the scrolls if you just started to enchant your skills. I mean, you would have to do a lot of battlegrounds to max out your skill advancement, and it takes a long way to reach that. Yeah, well, we have here these things, which are pretty expensive still, in my opinion. You have the rare Noctanium Elixir. I mean, we have the gold Noctanium Elixir, which is better. So this costs 45,000, really? EP XP boost. Okay, that's, I guess, not so bad, but it's still pretty useless today. It's pretty useless. I mean, no one even cares about the EP points. They don't really do anything. Then we have the veteran grey innerwear, also outdated gear, which is these days almost impossible to get, because the only way that you can get the top one is by dismantling this and enchanting it to rare one, and then dismantling the rare one and getting the gold one, and it's a random generator. You might get, well, just to make it faster, I'm not going to explain it all. Well, basically it's impossible to do that. You also need the tokens, these tokens here, the veteran cube tokens, and I think per every CS you get like one veteran cube token. And you need 12, and in here, and you need here 12 just to combine 3 of those green underwears. So you need one of these, so you need 12 CS just where's the Battlegrounds shop? Just to enchant, just to dismantle this. First you buy 3 of these, so for 300 points, 300,000. Then you dismantle them, you transform them into this, and then you put them inside this cube here, which is made for those weak underwears, and then you see if the RNG will give you the next level for the veteran rare cube, or if it will give you the same green uncommon underwear. So you have to get another 12 cubes, another 12 whatever they're called, tokens, so another 12 Corsair strongholds, and so on and so on. And the more you get closer to the veteran signature cube, which is the best, is, well, the more you have to use. So here is 25 I mean, CSs, I mean, it's impossible today. The moment you reach this, you have to do around, I don't know, maybe close to 500 Corsair strongholds. I don't know, I guess you have to go insane, you have to look for people all the time just to play CS. And you only get around, let's say, 2-3 Corsair stronghold per week, and that's if you're lucky. Usually it is made by our guild. After we finish CU, Civil Unrest, we call on the entire server while everyone is active from the CU, and then we ask everyone to join us to play the Battlegrounds. But even then, not every time we manage to pop up CS, so we have to go for something smaller like Frywind or Shore Hall, so that's another pain. Yeah, and then you have the violet and the plates and the particles, which you use to enchant your PvP gear, which is also outdated. I mean, you can still use it, but it is so useless. I mean, you have skill advancement tomes which cost 100,000 credits, which is also useless. You get the tomes now from basically everywhere these days, and even from this token here. So spending 100,000 on just a simple useless token just to advance your skills by 200,000, which is Come on, it's nothing for this amount of points for something as rare as a battleground, which pops so rarely. I mean, it's just not worth it. Basically, you farm a battleground for 10 minutes just to get one of these tomes. Just never, guys, never. Then you have the Guardian Battleground reward box, which in my opinion, from everything in here, is the most worth, the most, how should I say this? Something that is worth, in my opinion, more than every other thing in this shop. I mean, literally, you don't need anything from here. You can't use anything from here these days. Everything is useless, outdated, basically trash. And the only thing where you can dump all your points after the battlegrounds is in these boxes. And I have been collecting quite a few of them, as you can see, and I have been collecting them just for this opportunity, because I also want to see if I actually get this diamond design. I mean, I don't need the violet design, but I mean, it's the only thing that you can use to recover your time spent. I guess you can say that this is the only thing in this shop which allows you to convert the time wasted in the battleground, which you can transform into this box, and maybe it gets you a design, a diamond design, which should be pretty nice. I'm not sure if people still buy this for a pretty penny, but oh well. First we'll get the design and then we'll see if people still buy designs. And the trading part of the game is also dying little by little. It's really hard to sell anything, which is why people use Discord more and more. They just copy paste in the print screens of their gear, and then they sell it there directly. Well, not directly, they just post it for people to see without having to pay the entry fee for the broker, and then they meet up somewhere and then they just exchange their goods for money. And trade broker is a little bit outdated also. I guess the game could also somewhat change the trade broker to make it a little bit, to improve on it. I guess it's a bit old. I think it hasn't changed since the moment TERA appeared. Only the options there maybe changed, but except that, hasn't changed much. So just to conclude this video, I think I've talked about everything I wanted to talk. So yeah, all I want to say is that all the developers need to do to make people pop Battlegrounds is just improve the rewards. I mean, you're giving us so much outdated rewards that people simply don't care about these Battlegrounds. Yeah, it's fun to play once, but after you get the rewards from winning a hard game sometimes, and you see that it's worth, it's not even worth the copper. I mean, let me show you what I mean. I mean, you go in here and you want to, for example, recover your money by trading this. Oh, you can't trade this. And maybe you think, okay, let's convert this material into gold by selling it to a merchant. Oh, look at this, you can't even sell for coppers. It's not even sold for coppers. The only thing that you can sell for coppers is this thing here, which costs 10 not copper, silvers, I think it's called that. 10 silvers, right? Let me show the name. So you need 10 of these just to make 1 gold. Really? Really, TERA? Can't sell anything from here. Anything. Come on, at least make this part of the game tradable. Well, this you can sell, but no one buys it anyway because the gear is so useless. And I tried selling this for so cheap that at the end I just end up dumping it all. Well, anyway, let's get to the end part of this video. So let's see how many designs do we get from 200. Well, I wanted to make it 200, but I will open all 215 of these boxes. I mean, I don't really care about the particles and the talents. and the plates. I don't really care about all of that. I just want the diamond design. Let's see how the RNG will treat us. So, as we near the end, oh, I just want to say that I got no diamond design, but after all, from 200 I got one diamond design, and I doubt I'll get another one. But you have to agree with me that 100 points, 100,000 points per chest, and you need 200 chests just to get one diamond design is insane. I mean, I've been collecting these chests since months and months on end, because you can't really spend the points on anything else. So I think I've been collecting these chests from even before 2021. I've been collecting them since 2020. So that's a long time going. Oh, look at this, there's nothing in Trade Broker. So people not selling designs, which is a little bit hard for me. Oh, 100,000. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. Diamond design actually costs more than 100,000. So I'm guessing someone might buy diamond design. Although today rarely anyone crafts the diamonds. I mean, a lot of people just buy the emeralds, which I've also found that it is a better deal than actually crafting diamonds. You actually win a lot more from selling these emeralds for 1.2k or 1.1k even, and you get a huge return back instead of crafting diamonds. So I don't know who would want to buy a diamond design anyway in this game. Maybe just for the fun of it, to craft diamonds. Some people like to pay in diamonds. So I'm guessing, yeah, that's also a reason to craft diamonds. Like, it's like having gold in real life, and instead of paying with paper money, you pay with slots of gold. So anyway, yeah, you can sell this for around 100k, although usually in my experience this I used to sell also diamond designs, which used to fall from BAMs from Arborea, you know, the ones that spam like Nixaras from Elenia, or like from Kastanica, those two BAMs that are there, from Serpentis Isle, from the Fear Mount. Yeah, those bombs used to drop diamond designs, but not anymore, as I am aware. I mean, I've killed a lot of BAMs this year, and not even one diamond design has fallen. I mean, I have gotten like 1 or 2 emerald designs, but nothing higher than that. Nothing, no diamond. Oh, sorry, it's actually 21,500,000 points. 21,500,000 points. 500,000 points. I mean, that is a lot of games. That is a lot of games. That is over 100 Corsairs Stronghold for just 100k. You can get this by doing just sometimes 2 dungeons. That's all you take. Either that, or you do 1 high-end dungeon for less than half an hour, and even if it's half an hour, you get like maybe some solar essence from Bahar, and you can sell that for 70k or maybe more these days, and plus extra materials like golden materials and powder that you get from there. I think even sparkling powder from Bahar, although I'm not sure about that. Don't quote me on that. And yeah, you can get those 100,000 just from doing 1 high-end dungeon instead of doing 100 battlegrounds, which is a pain. So yeah, guys, there you have it. This is my not so small rant on how TERA has severely neglected the PvP side of the game, and it's slowly dying out. I mean, in the past we were able to activate Battlegrounds quite fast, and that was just a few months ago. We were able to play Battlegrounds more, but these days it's a little bit harder. The most we can do now regularly is just to pop shore, which takes 14 people, and that is from, I think, the Russian server, the French server, the German server. I mean, they have the FR in front of their names, then they have the GR for Germany, the RU for Russia. So I'm guessing when I see them in Corsairs, in Battlegrounds, that means they are from different servers. So, I mean, what's the deal? I mean, it takes 14 people to play shore, and you can't force 4 servers at least to pop up such a small game, really. If you own a game where you can't make people play, 14 people play one battleground, which is a little bit interesting, but because of the rewards, I mean, it doesn't say much about your game, does it? Well, anyway, this is my rant. I hope this didn't took too long. I hope this didn't take more than half an hour. Ugh. I actually expected this to last on like 10-15 minutes. I didn't think that I would have so much to talk about, but you know, it's all this pent-up frustration that we all feel, which is what I had to just flush out. And also, by the way, please notice the rewards that you got from these 215 chests. I mean, just to put it into perspective, you wouldn't be able to even enchant your weapon. I mean, let's see, what does it take? Oops. What does it take to enchant this? Look at this. I don't even have enough to enchant this weapon to +1. Even to +1 by using 215 of these chests. I mean, come on guys, this is really taking a huge deal on the TERA players. This is why the Battlegrounds are not active. Oh dear, TERA developers, this is exactly why. And this is precisely why. And it also takes 2000 gold to enchant. Well, there we have it. Just to show you how useless the Battlegrounds are. I mean, literally, the only thing that is useful from all of this is just these chests. How are they called again? Yeah, literally, the only thing that is worthwhile to play this Battlegrounds for is the Guardian Battleground reward box and nothing else. And that is if you're lucky enough from getting this diamond design from after 200 boxes, which will take you around a year to accumulate, literally a year. The Battlegrounds aren't as active anymore, guys, so it will take you, if you're not such an active TERA player, it will take you 6-9 months, maybe, if you're lucky. But I don't know if you'll actually be able to accumulate 200 boxes in 6 months. I think it will take a minimum of 9 months for you to accumulate that many boxes to get one diamond design, and that is if the random number generator of TERA will allow you to get the diamond design out of 200 boxes. I mean, I got this design at 198, I think, because when it appeared I looked at the number and it was decreasing like 17, 16, 15, and I had 215 boxes, which means that I was around 197, 98 boxes. So it was really at the last 2 boxes out of the 200 that I managed to get one diamond design. So there you have it, guys. Is it worth it to play Battlegrounds? Absolutely no. Hell no. Should I play it because it's fun? Yes. But the rewards, they are really down-putting, especially if you're in a really bad raid and people don't want to do anything, and I mean really the rewards really need to be there to be like a consolation prize of sorts for a bad game. But if you don't even get this from a bad game, I mean what is there to play for? People just rage quit the game just because of CS sometimes. Well, anyway, this was my rant for today. I'll end my video here before I remember anything else to say about it. So leave your comments down below what you think. Was I unreasonable or did I make any mistake? I think I made a few mistakes, but since it's a little bit late now, I won't correct them. Just, you know, mention them in the comments down below. We can talk about it. Or I can make another video responding to your comments if you want. So yeah, leave a like and subscribe, leave your comments down below, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video.